Euro US dollar. They recently were at 218,000 long. Then they took profits, 215. Then they took more profits, 192. This is profit taking as price rallied up back into areas of supply. How's it going, fellow traders? Magic Trader here, and this is your CFTC data for September 10th, 2024. How's it going, fellow traders? Welcome back. Nice to have you again, and we're going to take a deep dive into the latest positions held by the institutions and see what they are up to. So here's a brief snapshot of those positions, and like we always like to do, let's take a look at the change column and take a look at what's the biggest shifts that we've seen in this past week. And we can see, starting from the top, we can see that major bullish move on the US dollar Japanese yen in terms of their positions. We also had a bearish shift on oil, minus 77,000, S&P 500 minus 42,000, and bonds minus 75,000. All right, now let's take a look and put things into context by looking at the actual charts. Of gold, for instance, we're going to look at the chart of gold. Here's the monthly chart, weekly chart, and let's look at positions here. Recently, we had positions back in July, 349,000. They took some profits. Then they recently put them up to 355,000, and again, we're in profit-taking mode. And look how high price is, okay? Very high up. And let me just show you here with the green marker. This is aggressive buying and profit taking, aggressive buying and profit taking, aggressive buying and profit taking. Okay, so we're in that profit taking phase right now. I was warning members about gold and where it's at because of the positions held by institutions. We're at 340,000. We're not too far away from 408,000. Okay, yes, there's some room for price to continue up going higher for sure, but how much higher is the question. We don't know if it's going to go this much higher, that much higher. We have no idea. Could they break all-time records for long positions? Sure, they could. But we did go through in our latest level 3 session, we did go through a method of discovering how much higher price could go. Really quite incredible. If you're a member, make sure to watch that. It's in the watch list folder in the forum, and you could watch that and see what we were talking about there. Okay, but I'd be careful with going long with gold simply because we're reaching near max size. Oil. Long column is cooled off, short column is cooled off. We see a push to the downside, slight bearish pressure here. Slight bearish pressure. We used to be bullish, now we're going into more neutral territory and slightly bearish. When you look at the last sells, you can see a little bit of redness up there, just a little bit, okay? Too early to tell what's going on, but not much in terms of supply and demand dynamics. We responded from demand. You know, it ran out of steam, dropped, same thing here, and we're coming back down to that demand area. Nothing clear, positions aren't clear, supply and demand dynamics aren't clear, so I just pass through it and go to the next one. US dollar. Longs, if we look at longs, there's no strong coloration in those cells for longs, okay? So that's something to take note of. No strong coloration. And if we look at shorts, there hasn't been anything significant since contracts expired back in June 18. They used to be aggressive with shorts, but that has since been closed off. Also, let's take a look at the coloration of the cells. Somewhat bearish here, right? And then ever since then, what do we see? A little bit more green or bullish. A little bit of neutral in between, but a little bit of bullish as well. Nothing strong here. I don't really see anything to suggest any specific move is going to take place. We do have a bearish bias, but that's based on other factors that we've discussed in sessions with members. All right, so we move along. Aussie. And so Aussie, they got pretty aggressive with longs, then they took profits, then aggressive with longs, then they took profits again. All right, and that's up throughout here. Longs took profits, Longs took profits. Okay, so what is going on here? Well, look at the shorts. Shorts were aggressive, they took profits, right? Shorts were aggressive, they took profits. Shorts were aggressive, they took profits. Same thing here. Shorts were aggressive, took profits. Shorts were aggressive, took profits. So they're not really accumulating anything substantial at this point. It's more of a profit-taking phase. I don't like to be jumping into trades when they're in a profit-taking phase, so it's very difficult to determine what is going to happen going forward. I do have a bullish bias on the Aussie, but that's not really going to kick in until some aggressive, sustainable long positions get put into play. They did back in July a little bit, and they started taking profits, and they did do it recently at the highs, but they've since closed them off. So nothing sustainable as of yet. All right, USCAD, look at that. They went from 219,000 back in July, which was an all-time max. What did I say was going to happen? Okay. If you've been watching our sessions, you'd know that the drop in price was predicted with incredible precision. 219,000 as price was contacting an institutional supply area. I told you they were going to take profits. I told you this was going to fuel a move to the downside, and that is exactly what took place. Okay? Look at that. Supply was contacted to the T. There's a supply area. Do you see that? Okay? I had this mapped out for a long time on the charts. Long time. See that supply area I have on the charts? Price contacted that supply area as they were aggressive with long positions. Told you they were going to take profits, and they sure did. Drove price to the downside quite aggressively. Okay, look where they're at now. They went from 219,000 to 92,000. Look at shorts. Do you think they were focusing on shorts at any point during this whole profit taking? No. Okay, so this gives you a little bit of insight of how the institutions work. When they're focusing on taking profits on long positions, they rarely focus on short positions. Okay, so that's the phase that they're going through now. So now's not the time to be trading. The short trades, which we took on the way down, were the trades to take because it was fueled by profit taking. And now we are waiting. We had a short-term long trade down here at the low of price, which worked out nicely. And now I am waiting for the next signal. Okay, I'll share those with members when the time comes. U.S. Swiss, look at that. Longs and then profit taking. Look at shorts, cooled off this whole time. Okay, longs and profit taking were here. Longs, profit taking, longs, profit taking. Okay, fueling a move to the downside. So this move to the downside was somewhat predictable as well, because we knew that whatever was going to cause the momentum to kick in on the USCAD, it was going to be similar on the US Swiss, and you can see that that's exactly what ended up taking place. So now we're back at this area here where we originally saw the push to the upside. What's going to take place? Well, we definitely need this area to be taken out if we're going to see a push to the downside. And I think over time we may be seeing that. So I'm going to be watching this zone to slowly erode and price melt through, and then I'm going to be looking for short signals. Euro US dollar. They recently were at 218,000 long. Then they took profits, 215. Then they took more profits, 192. This is profit taking as price rallied up back into areas of supply. Profit taking on long positions. We're seeing the pull back on price now. So major supply in play, yes. We're seeing bullish momentum coming in. Look at the coloration of the cells here. We're seeing bullishness after a phase of neutral. Okay. Evidence is supporting that we might be seeing a move higher over time. Okay, we're seeing evidence to suggest that. So we're waiting, watching, and seeing if institutional demand keeps coming into the market. Then we'll be looking for long signals to take advantage of that momentum. Pound US dollar, same thing. Look at that. 188, remember that? That was all-time max. What did I say was going to happen? Profit taking, right? Which was going to fuel a move to the downside. And that took place. But I also mentioned that the move to the downside wasn't very aggressive. I was very specific in mentioning this with to members, because I told them normally we'd see a bigger move to the downside, something like US dollar, Japanese yen, and US CAD. But it was very, very short-lived and very slow-moving. Why is that? Big move to the upside when they added back to their long positions. Now we see some profit taking again. So what's going to happen? Well, I think that there's a very good chance that over time we're going to see a move to the downside. Newly formed demand zones that have just been created will have to be removed for momentum to really kick into the downside, but we are going to be watching for those type of signals. US dollar Japanese yen, 222 or 223,000 long. Back in July, massive profit taking. Look at long positions now, cooled off. Look how quickly they went from aggressive to cooled off in a matter of weeks. Just a matter of weeks. Look how aggressive, okay? Now the coloration of the cells is bearish. Okay, and we're seeing this slow melt down into this area down here. We have institutional demand on here. We suspect it's going to be melted through, just like butter, eventually producing new areas of supply. And price continuing lower. I did a great video, although the video was lagging. If you look in our YouTube videos under live, you'll see that we did a video last week where we shared how to locate a trade. If you just watch it to listen to what I'm talking about, it's a great video. I'll be doing more like this to share how we look for signals to trade. Okay, but it breaks down why we are bearish US dollar Japanese yen. Make sure to watch it. All right, Kiwi. Look at that. Not much going on with longs, shorts, a little bit aggressive, but they've been closing off those short positions. Look at the coloration, okay? Remember, I always say coloration of the cells. Coloration of the cells. So important. Look, anything sustainable here? Bearish, bullish, neutral, bearish, neutral? No, okay? It's not. And it sucks because look how long price has been coasting sideways here on the Kiwi. Very long time. So that's why it's important to be able to trade other assets, because if you're just sitting waiting to trade high probability swing trades on currencies, you know, it'd be difficult to find some good trades. There have been some. We have taken trades. We have done well with them. But overall, the market's very stale, okay, from what I am seeing. All right, and that's it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to join us, now's a good time. We're going to start a brand new Level 1 class where we're going to be teaching you how to locate institutional buying and selling on stock charts. And yes, locating supply and demand on stock charts is different than locating supply and demand on currencies and commodities. So if you want to learn how to trade stocks, great. Our portfolio is up over 30% right now, and most of those returns have come from trading stocks. Easy breezy stock trades, we gave them out in the portfolio in the school. Very easy zones to find, very clear setups, very easy setups, and great way to make money in your portfolios. Trading good stocks, buying, holding, and getting nice returns. Not just day trading nonsense, just buying and holding. Make you great returns. Anyways, I'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Take care.